You want me to put that on my todger?
Harry's wife. Could she use Cartoon Harry's words against him? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. One of my viewers, Kerry, took time to write to me as a consequence of watching my various videos about the gruesome twosome and, of course, the recent roasting by South Park. And she wondered whether the line spoken by the Prince of Canada, aka Harry, where he stated, "My Instagram-loving bitch wife has always wanted her privacy," and, "Wait, you're ethnic?" She wondered, could those lines get the actual Prince Harry into trouble? It's an excellent question. And the short answer is, yes, it could. This is because the narcissist will use whatever is required to assert control over a victim within certain parameters. The fact is, as you know from my work, the narcissist consciously, where an aware narcissist, or subconsciously, where an unaware narcissist, seeks four things: control, fuel, character traits, and residual benefits. These things are known as the prime aims. Whenever it comes to an interaction between a narcissist and another person, that is what we seek. It might not be all four. It could be two of the four, let's say fuel and control. But there's always at least one aspect of the prime aims that the narcissist will seek. So when you think that the narcissist was being romantic by giving you a bunch of flowers, what the narcissist was actually doing was seeking to control you through effectively bribery, giving you a gift, and to draw fuel from you. And if this was done in front of other people, the residual benefit of managing a facade. It wasn't done because the narcissist loves you. It wasn't done because the narcissist was being kind or romantic. Although, of course, an unaware narcissist would believe that's why they were doing it. The fact is, it was done with reference to the prime aims. If the narcissist were to shout and scream at you and belittle you, it's done, of course, because they're furious, but it's done for the pursuit of the prime aims. The narcissist has sex with you. It's part of the prime aims. They are drawing fuel from your oohs and ahs and give it to me, big boy. And also, your response is demonstrating that you're under control. It is very much the case, and always the case, that when a narcissist is interacting with another human being or contemplating that, it's being done for the prime aims. And therefore, because they are so absolute, the narcissism will utilize whatever it can to cause the narcissist to get hold of those prime aims. So often it will be the case, for example, that the narcissist will be made furious or envious or jealous, exhibiting hatred or antipathy or infatuation or feeling horny. The narcissism makes the narcissist feel a particular way and think a particular way so that the narcissist is driven to pursue those prime aims. Were it not to do that, the narcissist would essentially cease to exist. The construct would come crashing down. And therefore, if, for example, there is an argument between Harry and Harry's wife, or that Harry has done something, often inadvertently, to threaten Harry's wife's control over him, her narcissism makes her feel a particular way and think a particular way so that she's motivated to assert control over him. So during the golden period, it made her believe that old Ginger Bollocks was the sexiest man alive, so kind, so wonderful, having so many things in common with her, so that she thought well of him, that she, in inverted commas, fell in love with him, that she wanted to jump on him and ride him like at a rodeo. All of that was done by the narcissism causing her to feel and think that way to pursue the prime aims. It will often, the narcissism will often cause a narcissist to be deluded, to invent circumstances for the purposes of getting that control. And often what will happen, and many of you who have been involved with a narcissist will have experienced this, is that the narcissist will bring something up from the past which never even happened, or bring something up from the past and twist it to attribute some form of blame to you. to provoke you. So, for example, the fact that you happened to give your sister-in-law a kiss on the cheek last Christmas when you were leaving after a lovely day together is now resurrected to suggest that you were snogging her under the mistletoe, a twisting of the truth. Or, even if you hadn't kissed her on the cheek, you were accused of being caught snogging in the cloakroom cupboard under the stairs. It never even happened. But in the mind of that unaware narcissist, it did happen, because the narcissism needs to pluck whatever it can to compel that narcissist to assert control over you. Harry is in the sustained devaluation, which means that more days he's painted black than he's painted white. And, invariably, he will do something which threatens Harry's wife's sense of control, which means that her narcissism needs to compel her to get him back under control. And one way of doing this would be to use what appeared in the South Park episode against him. I don't mean in terms of saying, this is all your fault, Harry, because if you hadn't disclosed what you disclosed in Spare, they wouldn't have had so much material to use, although that might be used against him. But rather, she would use the portrayal of Prince Harry and the fact that he said, my Instagram-loving bitch wife has always wanted her privacy, and that he went, wait, you're ethnic, to suggest that that's what Prince Harry actually thinks. Oh, they only included that because you clearly do think that of me, that you think that I'm an Instagram-loving bitch. I wouldn't have put it beyond you, Harry, to have spoken to the producers of the show and told them these things so they included it in the show. You might think that's ridiculous. Any of you that have been involved with a narcissist are probably thinking, no, it's not. I know full well that what HG is saying is the truth. The narcissist will come out with howlers of complete porky pies of that nature, plucking the most extraordinary information and using it against the victim. Such a response is driven by her paranoia to believe that Harry would collaborate with the show's producers, notwithstanding the fact that he got a roasting himself, and therefore logically that wouldn't make any sense. Furthermore, the fact that she's probably around him so much that when would he have been able to go and do that? But those are logical matters which will not stand in the way of her own twisted logic. Her narcissism makes her believe that he has collaborated with the producers of South Park, that he did say these things about her, otherwise why were they included, and that he must think that about her because, of course, he doesn't like her, he hates her. Because remember, when he's painted black, he's a traitor, he's treacherous, he's the enemy, and therefore her narcissism causes her to believe that he would have said those things, that he might not have contacted South Park after all, but at least for them to have said that belies the fact that he must think those things anyway, that he questions her ethnicity. Notwithstanding all of the evidence to the contrary, that doesn't matter. It goes out of the window. And even if the dimwit Harry was moved to try and offer some evidence to demonstrate that just couldn't be the case, Harry's wife wouldn't accept it because in that moment her narcissism will not allow her to do so. She will reject it. And therefore, the fact that in the South Park show that Harry used the phrases, my Instagram-loving bitch wife has always wanted her privacy, and wait, you're ethnic, Harry's wife could very much use those phrases against him, triangulating him with what was stated in the cartoon, alleging that somehow he caused them to form that view of her, possibly through direct collaboration, and that is the view that he has of her, and that she hates him, and he's a traitor, and he's not to be trusted. And notwithstanding his protestations to the contrary, she will not brook them, she will not allow them. Her narcissism is so fixed in its view at that juncture of him that she seriously believes that he forms that view of her. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.